First of all, introducing our challenger.
Out of the blue corner.
He's going to step in and he does. It's all over.
Let's bring on the boom.
This is Eternal MMA.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Eternal Insiders. My name is Luke, and as always, I am your host, and I'm being joined today by the man set to challenge for the vacant middleweight title against Brogan Anderson for Eternal 81. It's the former Eternal middleweight champion himself, John Martin Fraser, kind enough to spend a bit of time today on the show. John, it's been a bit of a time since we've spoken, man. How is everything for you in the lead up to this big title fight?
Yeah, good, man. It's been good preparation for the fight there.
And what's it sort of been like for that sort of like the last 9 months, you man? Of course, you've been through some things, some surgery, that sort of thing. What's that sort of period of time been like for you on that road to recovery and gearing up to get yourself back in there?
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, it's always shit coming back from an injury, but just give me an opportunity to focus on other things. You know, just working on a lot of strength stuff and mobility while I was injured, while I was out. And just done a lot of thinking, like, you know, it's just it's always shit, but once I was able to get back to focusing on training, like doing obviously mixed martial arts and hit the ground running, but I've kept fit, you know. I've done everything I could to be in the best shape as I could throughout the whole time, you know. I ate good, and where in the past years ago where I would have blown up and been a right fat fucker, I kept the weight down, like, you know.
No, I mean, I did see you online. I mean, even while you were sort of recovering, you had your arm in the sling. I mean, you were still in the gym, still, you know, kicking at the bags and everything, and still at least using your right arm and everything. So you're making do with what you had, it seems. Yeah,
for sure. I just have to, you know, for the mental state. Like I go fucking nuts if I wasn't training, like, you know, whether it's lifting or hitting the bag, doing wherever you can. It's and just like, you know, you're minimizing any slow in the progression and that I can, like, you know.
Yeah, and so we've got a title fight coming back in now for Eternal 81, of course, you being the former middleweight champion yourself. I mean, we cast back to Eternal 79, your former foe in Matt Myers, now the former champion with that title being vacant. He was originally slated to fight against Brogan Anderson for that title, of course, himself now on the injury list, unfortunately, for Matt. Tell us about that sort of period of time for yourself, you know, as sort of an outsider looking at that fight, finding out that Matt was injured, that title becoming vacant, and then you first finding out that you be facing Brogan Anderson just one fight later or one card later to go back for that middleweight title.
Yeah, look, I'm gutted for Matt. You know, it's I got no hard feelings towards Matt at all. I think he's a fucking solid dude, you know. And it's always shit. It's always shit getting injuries, so I feel for him, but. As soon as I heard about the fight, I messaged Cam and said, "Can we get that fight for November?" But he said, "What about in a couple of weeks?" So I was like, it would be a little bit touch too close." But I put my hand up for it, and I was hoping no one else would take our fight. You know, Brogan's a solid opponent, so I was really keen to jump back in there. Yeah, so hopefully Matt has a quick and smooth recovery as well, so he can get himself back in there. We can run that back in the future as well. But yeah, I'm happy to get tested skills against Brogan as well.
No, and I think that's what the word is, that once Matt sort of recovered, you know, that he's been told that he should be sort of the next man up to come in and fight for that title against whoever the winner out of yourself and Brogan Anderson might be. Hopefully for yourself, obviously be you. But I mean, this will be the first time you're getting back in into the cage to have a fight since you did fight Matt Myers twice in 2022. Of course, you guys fought at Eternal 69. You also fought at Eternal 72. The first time you guys fought, for those that don't know, John getting himself the win there, stepping up on short notice, mind you, and about a week's notice, getting that job done by decision. Now, I spoke to you in between the two fights that you had, and you said with that first fight, you weren't necessarily happy, you know, with your performance in terms of your stand-up. You said in your words that you felt a bit spat and slow, and that coming into the second fight, you're going to be feeling a lot sharper. You're going to be feeling a lot fitter. In hindsight, you know, going into that second fight with Matt, you putting your title on the line for that particular fight, then unfortunately for yourself, losing the belt there. Given the preparation was sort of different, did that make it sort of that little bit more of a bitter pill to swallow, given the preparation difference you had for that second fight?
What, did it make a bit of pill to swallow losing the second fight?
Well, given that you said you came in on the short notice and you won against Matt on that short notice, and you're expecting to come in sharper for the second fight, and unfortunately the second one not going your way.
Yeah, look, it is what it is. That's fighting at the end of the day. Like, it's shit losing regardless of whatever past fights, But that's just fighting. Like, I made one wrong read through the fight and he capitalized on it. That's just fighting. Like, it is what it is. But it's always a tough pill to swallow when you lose anyway. But it's not any worse than usual. But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. It's it felt good going in there. The preparation was awesome, but that's just fighting, man. Sometimes that's that split second decision making, just how you fight the fight can fucking dictate so much of it. It is what it is.
No, and I mean, you're no stranger to adversity. I mean, not even just sort of dealing with your own injuries, but I mean, your 2021, if we cast back that far, was also quite interrupted. I mean, you had a couple of fights scheduled, back-to-back camps, as you said, wasted due to fighter pullouts, from the other side, either through injury or through sickness, and then yourself having to go through another injury rehab on a wrist that I believe that you sort of had there too, that you had to sort of get through. That was coming off the back of, you sort of went through a 4-fight winning streak as well, getting the win against Kit Campbell before you went into that 2 fights against Matt Myers. What was that sort of period of time like through that 2021 for you, like navigating all that? I know you were over in the UK training, that sort of stuff as well. What was that sort of period of time like for you to navigate?
Oh, it's just getting ready for fights, and it's just shit happens. It's like I think that around that time was a bit of a weird time for everybody, with COVID and things getting cancelled and shut down and fucking what's. It was just like, it was a bit of a weird time getting fights and fights falling through and shit, shows getting cancelled. It can be frustrating at the time, but I just did whatever I could do to just keep heading towards that goal. Like, just keep training and keep doing whatever I can to just get better through injuries or whatever, through the fight cancellations or getting sick and that. There's not much more you can do other than just keep training towards what you're working towards,
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, obviously now, we can look forward because we've got the title fight booked against Brogan Anderson, so something very much to look forward to there. Back on the horse, as it were. Coming into this fight, you said you sort of had that goal to come back towards the end of the year and get yourself a fight. Was there anything else that you were sort of looking at apart from the Brogan Anderson fight? We know what Brogan was originally sort of teed up for. Were there any other possibilities? And if so, with this sort of falling into your lap, is this the perfect way for you to come back?
Yeah, this is awesome. Like originally, I was under the impression I'd be having the winner of Matt or Brogan, so it was either going to be Matt or Brogan anyway. And I've watched a lot of Brogan's fights in the past. I've fought on the same shows as him before when I was an amateur even. It's either or that I was really happy for, But honestly, I'll fight whoever, like whoever's put in front of me. I just want to fight the best guys and just test myself. And throughout my whole career, that's all I'm looking to do. Like, whether it's Brogan, Matt, or fucking whoever.
No, and I think when we've spoken in the past, I mean, you said the words that, there's sports fighters and there's fighters, and that you believe that you're a fighter's fighter. So I'm guessing not much has changed in that regard.
No, not at all. No, exactly. I just want to go out there and fight the best people and be the best fighter myself. Like,
now you said obviously you just you have fought on the same cards as Brogan, so you are familiar with him to some degree. Like, how familiar are you with him as an opponent? Do you sort of look at him? Do you think there's anything that you need to be particularly wary of in terms of his skill set? Like, what do you sort of see matching up against him?
Yeah, he's a solid opponent. Like, his submission games obviously would be his bread and butter. But at the same time, he's still got a pair of hands and feet the same as everybody else. So I'm always I'll respect him anywhere. Like, and when the fight gets tough as well, he's not a stranger to bite down and get amongst it on the feet as well. He's not just diving for your legs. Him as an all-round fighter. I think his grappling is definitely his strongest point. But I think I'm better than him wherever the fight goes. But like I said, I respect him. I respect him on the feet and I respect his grappling as well.
I mean, the three of you guys, I mean, the ones that we're sort of talking about, yourself, Brogan, Matt, I mean, we know how familiar you are with Matt Myers, considering you faced the guy twice, everything you know about Brogan. Do you sort of look at Brogan as like a very different challenge to someone like Matt Myers? Do you see sort of similarities there? Like when you sort of go up against Brogan, what do you sort of think the main differences in terms of how the fight could play out against a guy like Brogan versus someone that you're very familiar with in former champion Matt Myers?
Yeah, I think they're the two opposites, really. Like Matt is quite light at his feet, and he's good at spinning fucking back kicks. No, he's a little more dynamic in the striking. He's got good jiu-jitsu skills as well, I think. But Brogan, I think, would be a lot stronger in the grappling areas, and I think he just a different style of grappling as well from the pair of them, but very different on the feet, obviously. But yeah.
I just wanted to ask you too. I mean, last time we talked, and this wasn't on the podcast, this was back when we were just sort of putting out articles and that sort of thing. But I mean, I remember you talking to me about just the evolution in your game and sort of, bringing up everything in terms of your grappling to sort of match your striking. And that grappling part of your game was something you were really trying to evolve to, match your sort of stand up. How far do you sort of think that you've come, in these couple of years in regards to that, like dealing with everything that you've had to deal with in that time? The injuries, fight pullouts, but also being able to get yourself back into the gym, get on the grind. Like, where do you think your overall game is at this point as we come into this title fight?
Yeah, I think my jiu-jitsu is as good as my striking at the moment. It's I've definitely stepped it up a good few levels, and it was the time I had going back to Wales as well. I did a lot of grappling and wrestling and stuff there as well, and I think that picked my game up a lot. And you saw a little bit of it in the match fight, but I was pretty fucking gassed throughout that fight as well, So I think I've got a lot more to show in that area, but I think my grappling is as good as my striking at the moment. Like I said, the last couple of years, and it's always been like one of my favorite parts of the sport, like to train, like I love jiu-jitsu, and I think it wasn't it's never been like an area for me to be like where I have to get better. It's just I love doing it, and it was just a time thing to catch up where my striking is, and it's definitely there,
Now, Ignite Martial Arts Academy and the famed Dunston Death Squad. I mean, I've spoken to your training partner, David Martinez, quite at length, and Dunston Death Squad is always being referred to about the juggernaut that team is. Like, from your perspective, can you talk about that team dynamic, everything that gym at Ignite Martial Arts Academy, the famed Dunston Death Squad, like how pivotal are those guys, not just for David Martinez, former Eternal Lightweight champion, but for yourself, like what do they mean to your career in terms of how they help you prepare?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like Dunston's all over as a coach. He's passionate as fuck. He lives and breathes the sport as well. He's fully invested in it. And in terms of like training partners and stuff as well, and just even like the smaller guys, like watching the small guys, like you got Sean Gauchi and stuff there, like just watching that kid like sparring and stuff. It's like I've learned loads just from watching him. He's unreal. Like, and even some of the amateurs, you got boys like Jake Piper and stuff. The kid's a beast. It's I feel like I'm constantly learning there, just like picking bits up off other guys there. Just whether I'm dealing with them firsthand or just like looking at the techniques that they're doing and like, like a bit of that. I start adding bits to my game, and then you obviously got like boys like Lonnie, I'm going to mess the last name up, Lonnie Filmahalu, I think his name is. I can't fucking pronounce his last name.
I'm going to take your word for it, yep.
Yeah. And Oren Palmley that comes up from Gamebred, to get sparring rounds in with them. This shit off like two big boys. One of them's a taekwondo boy that kicks like a fucking mule, and then you got Lonnie, he's a big Tongan boy who can wrestle. Like they're not shy to go hard in sparring as well. So they push me constantly, So it's good, man. It's really good. And then obviously like separately, I do my striking with Ryan Doyle. And the relationship I have with Ryan as well is just unreal. He's another guy. He's another coach in my corner who's more than dedicated. Just fucking selfless as a coach. He'd do whatever he can to help me get better. And we've always had he's one of those guys that he'll hold pads for someone, and you feel like you've hit pads with him for years, like on the first time, and he's really he's got a Thai boxing background, but he's adapted to MMA fucking beautifully, and he's always like keen to learn as a coach as well in different aspects. He's always keen to try different things out and push me in different areas. It's he's fucking awesome, man. I got really good people around me.
No, I mean, I constantly hear nothing but good things, as far as the dynamic goes at that gym and from that team. And I mean, just on that, David Martinez, of course, as we said, he's the former Eternal lightweight champion. He should be next in line once he goes through his recovery process that he's going through at the moment to come back in and get another shot at his title. Yourself, of course, topping the bill for Eternal 81 to get your middleweight championship back. I mean, for you guys to sort of go through that and bring a couple of Eternal titles back to the Ignite Martial Arts Academy. I mean, getting that done, that must be something pretty special for everyone at the gym.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just had another belt there. Dave's got, between mine and Dave, and then you got other organisations that everyone's bringing back from as well. It just lifts the gym up a lot, It's awesome, mate.
I wanted to ask, what is it like sort of mixing up with David? Obviously, he's a few weight classes down, fighting as a lightweight, but I got to imagine no matter the size, I mean, he's a strong boy. What's it like getting on the mats with Dave?
Honest to fuck, he's strong as hell. He is really strong. And we he's mad. He's like technically good and just, he's got the strength. He's got the strength of a middleweight to light heavyweight. The guy is like freakishly strong. And especially when he's out of camp as well. When he's out of camp and he's like, eating whatever he wants. He's not cutting weight. The guy's unreal. And just a solid dude. He's just a really, really nice guy. The way Dave is, it's not an act. He's exactly how he is. I've been trying to get him to swear for fucking ages, but he won't do it. Honestly, I'm offering him my knee or whatever, he won't take it, nothing. But no, he's a good guy, Dave. He's another one. He'd give up his time and that to help you to drill or fucking. He's not a very good drilling partner because he just goes 100% at everything. But no, he's a solid guy, Dave is.
No, he certainly is a solid guy. I think I'd have to agree with you there. I mean, I haven't sort of heard him swear on the podcast. Not that he probably has a lot of reason to, but maybe let's see if we can get that done. Let's see if we can get Dave swearing on the podcast. See if we can sort of dangle a cat in front of him to get it going. But no, that's as you said, a lot of good guys in that gym. A lot of titles, different organizations, of course, Eternal MMA being the big one. So hopefully for you guys. Obviously you coming up at Eternal 1, looking to bring back that middleweight championship, put that around your waist and bring it back to that gym would be something very special. I did have one more for you. Actually, before the last one, I did want to ask you, you were back, in that period of time we were talking about last year, maybe 2021, where you're going back to the UK for a bit of training. Have you found time to get back to the UK? Have you had any reason to get back to the UK to train at all?
So I've actually got a wedding in July. As long as I haven't got any fights booked, I'll be going back for. So if I do, then I'll be catching up with the guys that I was training with there. So that for sure I'll be going back and getting some training in as much as possible while there, But if I have a fight booked, then I won't be able to go back. But if I have a bit of a clear, or it's just after a fight, then for sure, 100% to be lining that up.
Fantastic, man. And last one before you go, you said back in February that after your surgery, you'd be looking to get back and get in the cage and have a fight before the end of the year. We've got that fight book versus Brogan Anderson for that middleweight title, get that around your waist. But getting that through that, the goal remains the same. What is that goal ultimately at the end of the day? What is the big goal for you going forward?
Just UFC, man. I don't want to just get to the UFC. I want to get to the UFC and do well in the UFC. Follow in the steps of people like Jack Della. That's the kind of goal. Go there and fucking excel when I get there. It's not like It's not the goal just to get there and I've made it now. I want to get there and I want to excel and fucking just take off from there. This is my absolute life. There's nothing I want to do with myself. This is everything. Plan A, B, and C. I've said it before. I love it. It's just everything I ever want to do. And if I can, I just want to get there and be the best fucking fight that I can be.
You heard it from the man himself, John Martin Fraser, coming in hot for Eternal 81 versus Brogan Anderson. John Martin Fraser looking to claim back his middleweight title coming in for that big card. It is a stacked card. Make sure you get your tickets for that one at EternalMMA.com because that one is selling out fast. I mean, not only do we have this stellar fight at the top of the card, but I mean, you got guys like Jack Becker coming back to fight against Kieran Joblin, a rising prospect Don Marfan versus Michael Stanoff, Diego Pereira coming back against Luke Jones, Alan Philpott versus Paul Logra at the bottom of that main card. So absolutely huge card. If you're not attending in person, you are, of course, tuning in live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. Either way you're tuning in, let's go get it. John, thank you very much for your time, brother. Always a pleasure talking to you. All the best at Eternal 81, and we'll see you on the other side, man.
Thanks, Luke. See you soon.